original machine had a base plate of prefamulated amulite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two spurving bearings were in a direct line with a panometric fam. The latter consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic marsal vanes so fitted to the ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. The main winding was of the normal Lotus O delta type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator, every 7th conductor being connected by a non-reversible tremie pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the grammeter.
God, I knew this was a bubble. God, I knew it! What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a great weekend so far. It is Monday. Back on the grind, a little bit of a rough start to the week. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies seeing some red today. We have a few coins in the green, but for the most part, not really the greatest way to start off our week. We do have very choppy markets, sort of some mixed signals going on. So for everybody trading out there, I hope you're being safe. Ironically enough, yesterday we have the Simpsons discussing cryptocurrencies on their latest episode, and we put in the infamous Bart Simpson pattern. How's that for the conspiracy theorists? But seriously, what I want to focus on today, yes, we're going to talk about price action short term, but there is an absolutely mind-blowing chart that I have recently come across. If you guys have not seen it, you have to check this out. Definitely stick around for that part of the video. Yes, it has to do with the Bitcoin halving, which we know is going to happen early May, may even happen late April, depending on how fast the blocks are found. But what I'm referring to is what is known as the golden bull ratio for Bitcoin. We're going to get into what this chart means in just a second. I do want to analyze some of the previous halvings, but my goodness, we need to talk about this and how you guys that are worried about these dips right here in this red, we are just getting started. In fact, if this thing plays out, we have at least another 1.5 years of massive, explosive price action for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as well. You are going to want to stick around for that part of the video. And I also do want to give a shout out to Simon Dixon. You need to check out, first of all, this video is 25 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but we're going to take a very small clip, and I want to talk about the $250 trillion regulated Ponzi scheme and the real reason why Bitcoin's value is going to skyrocket into the $1 trillion, $4 trillion, even $10 trillion market cap. Yes, you heard me. I know it's hard to believe when you're looking at the prices today, but if that sounds good to you, that's what we're going to get into. And also, if you guys, if you're not into TA, you're not into news, you want to skip around to different parts of the videos, I always put timestamps below in the pinned comment and also in the video description. Just click on that and you can hop to any part of the video you want, all right? If that sounds good to you, welcome back. It's Monday. You know what to do. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We do this every single day, and today is the Ledger Nano S giveaway. We're going to give one away at the end of today's video. If you missed out on your chance to, get in, just drop a comment. Every week we give away one random winner. We give away one ledger to one random winner. So drop a comment below. All right, let's give this a quick refresh live. Bitcoin dominance up 0.1%. Lots of red today, guys. Lots of red. Not too many cryptos. Let's compare them to the Bitcoin comparative. Yeah, for the most part, pretty much the whole market is taking a hit today. We have several coins that are up. One of the coins a lot of people were getting excited over the weekend was Algorand. You could see that's up another 11% today. Wakey Chain, Eternity, Kyber, VeChain, Decred, Chiliz, Zella, Molecular Future, lots of other coins putting in minuscule gains across the board. Now, yesterday, we were talking about the 21 exponential on the daily. This was a very important line to get above. We are currently sitting slightly above it. You could see we're just barely hanging on by a thread. We did, in fact, push below it all the way down to $9,583. We have had a slight pull or slight bounce since then. Now, what I said yesterday, why we cannot get excited by these short-term movements is because you could see right here, we did get back into the ascending wedge. We closed, but then we instantly fell below it. So I'm going to need to see a candle not only close above it, but then actually close with this line as support. If we don't see that moving forward, then yes, you're going to possibly see the Bitcoin price take a bit of a hit. We may even look to go all the way back down to the 8.8K level to get supported here by the 200 daily moving average. That is a possibility, but for everybody freaking out short term, it's just a chance to accumulate Bitcoin at cheaper prices. Now, we did close the CME futures gap right here. You could see that was down here. That was around 973, so I could actually get rid of that. We don't really need that in here anymore. I don't know why it's not deleting. There we go. So yeah, I mean, that was good. We did close the gap, but as you can see, I mean, basically we did keep falling. Now, currently we have had a little bit of stabilization. Once again, we are getting stomped out at this psychological 10K level. For some reason, the $10,000 level is just very psychological right now. You're having the bears every time we hit it. We get an instant sell-off, right? So I think that once we do finally close above the 10K level and put in like a nice solid weekly candle or something above it, then that is going to be extremely bullish for Bitcoin. Obviously, we still have to get above 10.3. Now, Crypto Michael over here, he says that he's not bearish until we fall below around $9,000. You can see, he was talking about the retest ready for about 9,400. And if we actually play this, he talks about areas to watch. And look, if we play this forward, we did have that nice little bounce into the first green box. So far, it does look like Bitcoin is playing out as expected. Could be nothing to worry about. Just be careful out there, right? I do still need Bitcoin to close above 9.6K by the end of this month. Now, we only have, the 25th? We have leap year, right? So we have 6 days left. If we can close above this, well, then that for me will definitely put in some bullish price action, because that means that we will have closed above the top right here. We had this close for the all-time high. We had this close for last year's, high, which was, well, we didn't close at 14K. We closed at, 10,800 about. And then currently, if we close above this, that would break the trend. That would be very good. Now, one thing I want to talk about super quick, like I said, if this is boring you, skip ahead to the really exciting part, but I want to talk about the overall market cap. So this is not the Bitcoin chart. This is the total market cap. If you want to know how to find this, you basically just go into TradingView and type in total 2. And that gives you all the altcoins, every single altcoin except for Bitcoin. Now, you can see we have approached a very significant level of resistance that we had back here. Okay, this was right back in November 11th. You can see we had a lot of difficulty getting above that level. Then when we did fall down, that level acted as support right here in March of 2018. Again, it acted as support in July of 2018. And we had difficulty breaking up above it before we hit last year's high. Well, look at this again, guys. We have once again struggled to break above that level. Now, let me actually zoom into the 4-hour, because you're going to get a better idea of what I'm talking about here. You can see that we have sort of followed this trend, right? We kind of go up, we bounce, we bounce, we bounce. Then we got way off it, but once again, we've touched the top. And currently, it does look like we're putting in a bit of a descending triangle. Now, a lot of these descending triangles do end in breakdowns. They don't have to, but textbook, they do more times than not. Now, if we did have a breakdown out of this, that would bring the entire altcoin market cap back to about $86 billion, which means that from the current price that we're at right now, that would be about a 13.5% drop for the overall markets in the altcoins. Now, I'm not saying this could happen. We could break out of this, right? And if we were to break out of this, then the next level would be all the way up to the $143 billion market cap, which from this point, I'm just going to look on the brighter side, that would be a 44% pump. So it could go either way. However, keep in mind that we have had an incredible pump since the beginning of the year. We have altcoin markets up a total of 85%, outperforming the Bitcoin market, which is only around 40-something percent. So it could be time for that potential cool off. Now, I do want to talk about this insane bull cycle golden ratio. Absolutely mind-blowing. Now, before we get into that, let's just sort of discuss what to anticipate. Well, you can see right here in the first halving, we had 1 year leading up to it, 341% gains, right? Which is kind of reminiscent of what we sort of have right now. We had a 3.2K Bitcoin. We're sitting around 9.7S. That's almost a 3x gain, roughly, give or take, right? Since the bottom. And then once we got past the halving, we skyrocketed 7,976%, okay? Pretty crazy. Now, there were some pullbacks in there, okay? It wasn't a direct pump. I mean, even if you look right here, there was a lot of time that went by before we actually had the blast off. Fast forward to the second halving, we had 111% 1 year before the halving, with a 2,866% pump to the peak. Now, we can see that these percentages are getting slower and lower over time, but the mind-blowing thing, shout out to Crypto Kia and also Crypto Lark for putting this on my radar, by the way. This is Bitcoin's bull cycle, the golden ratio. This is incredible. This is mind-blowing. You can't make this up. Look at this. So the first one was 376 days, which took 51% of the cycle. The second was 366 days, which represented 49% of the cycle. We just went over the numbers. If you got confused, go back and check those out. The second one, the same exact ratio, 542 days from bottom to halving, 51%. From halving to top, 49%, guys. So having a look at the chart right here, you could see that when this was made, there's 570 days left. Now, keep in mind, this was made 4 days ago, so a little bit less than that right now. But having a look at this, we are looking for a maximum top at around September 13th of 2021. And this is the kicker, obviously, we haven't even gotten to the halving yet. So considering where we're at right now, knowing how much is left, we're not even halfway through with this amazing cycle yet. And we know that the biggest gains are always made after the halving. So that goes to show us that there is still another 1.5 years left before this thing possibly tops out. Now, of course, we only have 2 samples. Past performance doesn't indicate future results, but it does kind of rhyme. So, if you're worried about the Bitcoin dips, if you're worried about Bitcoin retesting even 7.2K we talked about, that would still be an excellent buying opportunity before the massive blast off. However, I think ultimately we have still not even seen the capacity of what Bitcoin has yet to achieve price-wise. And let me talk about it in just a minute, but check this out from Bitcoinist. They said that yesterday, the active supply of Bitcoin on the market was at its lowest in months, suggesting consistent demand for Bitcoin ahead of the halving. So active supply of Bitcoin dropped by 3.3% yesterday. What does this mean? Well, this means that people are buying more of Bitcoin ahead of the halving event, which they are expecting to increase the value of Bitcoin as a whole. And we talked about yesterday the fact that the Bitcoin retail hodlers are actually accounting for a massive percent of the addresses, and the whales are losing the battle. They've gone from about 33% to 11% of the holdings, which means that these big Bitcoin whales are not as powerful as they used to be. Strength in numbers, my friends. That is the power of the hodlers. Now, I must play this clip. This is an amazing clip from Simon Dixon. If you're not following him on Twitter, get subscribed to this guy. You can see he basically started Bang to the Future. He was at the first Bitcoin conference ever. And he says he's a Bitcoin angel investor. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I assume it means this guy got in very early. I mean, if he was at a conference in 2011, just think about it. I'm sure this guy's doing quite well, but watch this video. He calls it the $250 trillion regulated Ponzi scheme. It's about 5 minutes, and you are definitely going to find massive value out of this. So check out this clip.
It's 21 million Bitcoins. That essentially lots of them have been lost, and many of them are never going to move, and 18 million of them have been mined and allocated already, and there's only 3 million more of them. Is you enter in, and this year the supply of additional Bitcoins every 10 minutes gets cut in half. You end up in this marketplace whereby people are competing in order to try and accumulate and scoop up those Bitcoins. And this is why it's been compared to, a speculative form of sound money. People call it a store of value. Gold is a store of value because it's about maintaining value. But because Bitcoin has more of a speculative store of value effect, i.e. the world hasn't figured out that it is a store of value yet, it creates this increase in price effect as more and more people discover that this can actually be a store of value in the future. And so what becomes interesting about this is that as more and more people enter into the Bitcoin economy, and as the utility increases in a fixed supply, people end up with this wealth effect. It could end up actually extinguishing their debt. And as they extinguish their debt, so as at the moment, the market cap of Bitcoin is give or take $150 billion to $200 billion. It went up in its peak up to about $700 billion or so. Keys and numbers, I haven't checked those exactly. But as this goes, and more people want to get Bitcoin, then as the effect of Bitcoin, the market capitalization enters into $1 trillion or $2 trillion or 3 to 5 or $10 trillion, then you start to get this effect whereby the wealth effect of those that got into into it early can use portions of their Bitcoin to extinguish their fiat debt. as we saw with some of the people that went about buying their property outright rather than actually going through the mortgage process. And what this does is it has a counter effect on the fiat regulated Ponzi scheme, i.e. the more that people pay down their debt, the lower the money supply becomes. And so this $250 trillion gradually decreases at a small scale. And you end up with a negative effect on the fiat economy. Because essentially money being paid down, remember the rules of the fiat regulated Ponzi scheme. In order to have more money, you have to have more debt. If you have less debt, you have less money. So as people earn wealth in asset classes that exist outside of the traditional financial system and pay down debts with the traditional financial system, you end up with an increase in the market cap here, a decrease in the money supply here, and a negative effect on the eventual the economy. This is what we call a ginormous wealth divide that can emerge between those who have Bitcoin and those who don't have Bitcoin. And this could be a very, very catastrophic effect for those that don't have versus those that do. But this is a natural effect, a natural phenomenon as a result of this technology existing and the utility of it and the fact that it's decentralized and can't be shut down. This is a natural thing. So as an individual, it's not really a question of do you believe in Bitcoin or do you not? It's a fact of reallocating how much you're willing to bet on the fact that the government are going to keep a $250 trillion regulated Ponzi scheme alive. And it's also a bet that people aren't going to generate wealth in other places, which actually ends up paying down the debt. And as the paying down of debt happens, then you have a shrinking of the money supply, which means it has a disastrous effect on the traditional financial system.
Wow. If that doesn't convince you to buy Bitcoin, or at least to have a small percentage of your net worth in Bitcoin, simply to hedge against the inevitable destruction due to inflation of pretty much any savings that any of us could ever put away, well, I don't really know what will. And I do suggest if there is a new person out there that's asking you about Bitcoin, they want to get into crypto, they don't really understand it. You know what the best thing to spend your money on, honestly? $25 on a book like The Bitcoin Standard, and I'm not being paid to promote this. This is just a really great book, but just to educate yourself, to understand the need for Bitcoin, because at first it's fun. Yes, the price is going up. Yes, we're going to all become gazillionaires. But once you dive deep into really what is wrong with the traditional system and how much global debt there really is and how it is literally designed to make the rich richer and the poor poorer, and how saving money is probably not necessarily the worst, but it's damn near close to the worst way to really secure your value, right? We have wealth generation, but then we also have wealth preservation, right? You want to keep that money. You want to keep those gains, right? So that is just something to consider moving forward. What is going on with that? Did you see what's going on with that? So Bitcoin to the rescue. This is an article actually from Being in Crypto. They say Bitcoin can function both as a safe haven asset and as a payment platform. It provides both liquidity and stability. As a payment platform, obviously, Bitcoin can be used to pay for transactions by an entity. This provides global liquidity, reversing the deglobalization trend. And also as a safe haven asset, Bitcoin offers a value storage tool that is not affected by government fiscal policies, right? Bitcoin may be the last hope to avoid this potential inevitable recession by using the digital currency as another gold standard. Central banks might be able to turn the bus around before it crashes. Now, we do have a bit of news today. Unfortunately, we do have a crypto purge again. It is back. It looks like this time it is affecting crypto YouTubers who are performing live streams. We've seen several YouTubers get hit, right? Nuggets News, he got hit the other day. He had a live stream. Ivan on Tech got hit as well. They're saying this is harmful or dangerous content. Now, I obviously had a response to this. I said, YouTube still can't tell the difference between legit live streams and scam live streams. This is actually getting pretty ridiculous now. And, it just ended. It just ended, guys. But this live stream was look, stream ended 33 seconds ago. This live stream was going on for basically 4 hours straight, and yeah, obviously comments were disabled, and yeah, it was another one of those scam streams. These things are running, and you got, you know, guys like Ivan on Tech getting their channel shut down. So, you know, definitely reach out to Team YouTube, you know, let them know that they're making a mistake here, and yeah, they really need to work on fixing that. Now, in other news, we did have Tron's CEO, Justin Sun. He came out, he was on CNN, right? He was talking about how he's a crypto believer. He converted all his assets in 2013. He says these days, the only exchanges he does is for crypto to fiat if he needs to spend money in daily life. And to a lot of people's surprises, he owns a lot of XRP and Ethereum too. Interesting, right? He says he's a long believer in crypto, and he does think Bitcoin will pass 100K in 2025. And yeah, on that note, guys, I think that's where we'll end today's video, but I do hope you got some value out of what we went over. I do hope you enjoyed that video from Simon. Definitely go on Twitter, subscribe to him, check out the whole video. It's 26 minutes long, but it's 26 minutes that you're definitely going to appreciate. Like I said, guys, education is key. Bitcoin Standard, check this book out. It's a really great book. This will like just basically blow your mind too if you're interested. But yeah, I do also have one more thing I want to go over today. So today, ByBit, they are starting a $100 giveaway, net deposit of 0.1 Bitcoin if you do over a trading volume of 5 Bitcoin. I do want to mention, I do not recommend this for beginners. If you're new to crypto, this is not for you, okay? But if you are interested in leverage trading and you want to start, I do have a tutorial. You can just, just search it, Crypto Zombie ByBit. But right here, the thing I want to mention is to be eligible for this one, you do have to click submit your user ID. This is over at the ByBit blog. I'll drop all the information below. If you're interested, if you do want to use my link below, you can. It helps support the channel. You don't have to, guys. As you know, I really basically never do sponsored content on this channel. So, you know, using the links below does help. You don't have to. Be safe out there. Leverage trading is definitely not for everybody. But that being said, guys, I do have to give away the ledger to one lucky winner. So we did have 7 videos last week. Let's see. So we have to make this out of 7. All right, number 3. So that is Wednesday's video, which was big news for Bitcoin. All right, let's pop this in and let's give a ledger Nano S away. So here we go. How many comments do we have? We have, 572 unique comments. All right, drum roll please for the ledger. Ledger. All right, he got right to the point, Mr. Patterson. All right, well, you are the winner. So yeah, if you want, just hit me up. You know where to go. Go to the official About section, okay, on my YouTube, or you can go to my Telegram group, which is up here in the links. It's totally free to join. You don't even have to join. You can just hop in there, say what up, get a hold of me. Do not go in the comments below. There's lots of people that impersonate me, but that's it for me today, guys. Having a look at Bitcoin. It is a little bit of a choppy market right now. Short term, could be a little bit crazy. Long term, to the moon. Thank you so much again for coming back to the channel. Remember to turn on the bell notification, get subscribed, or just drop me a comment, say hello. Thank you so much once again. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. My name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course,